I want to talk about an epidemic in skiing. It's something that holds people back and keeps them stuck in that terminal intermediate phase. The epidemic is lack of flexion. Flexion is the closing of a joint or bringing two adjacent bones closer together. Here I am flexing my arm. Flexion isn't the same as muscle contraction, although they're closely related. A lot of times in skiing, we hear things like bend your knees, get more forward. We also talk about balancing or stacking over our outside ski. A huge part of what makes all of those things possible is flexion. So why can't people flex? I'm convinced it's a mix of two things. People don't understand the term, and someone said we can never sit back on our skis. Let's dig into the term. In skiing, flexion specifically means we need to progressively close three joints and do it with control: our hip, our knee, and our ankle. In fact, if we try to bend only one, like for instance our knees, we have a very limited range of motion. That's why many skiers end up in a static position. They're only trying to bend their knees and they never progress. Here I am in running tights and socks so you can see my joints. Leg flexion is a sort of squatting movement. Notice how I'm trying to keep my torso over my feet and my back straight. Notice how I'm not hinging at the waist or bending over. Notice how I can use my full range of motion slowly over time, and I'm not getting into a static position and holding it. I'm in constant motion. In skiing, we use this slow, deliberate flexion to keep our center of mass moving with and over our outside ski. Now let's take a look at Jack, who I worked with this week. Do you see how his outside leg at the end of the turn is almost totally straight? That straight leg is pushing his body uphill or inside the turn, and it means when it's time to start the next turn, he's already out of alignment before he even starts. The secret to fixing this is flexing slowly, intentionally, progressively throughout the turn. We use flexion, closing our three leg joints, to pull our center of mass over the outside foot. And that leads us to the second part. It's okay to get back at the end of the turn. Let's look at Michaela Schifrin, one of the best athletes in the world. See how at the end of her turn, all three joints are flexed. And more importantly, see how her hips and butt end up behind her feet while her torso is still over her feet? Totally okay. So how do we practice this critical skill? It turns out we practice it all the time when we're walking down the stairs. The leg that we are standing on holds our weight, and we slowly, progressively lower ourselves down using flexion so that the other leg can reach the next stair. Then we switch and repeat. That's pretty similar to how we do it in skiing. Here I am in skis. Skiing is fundamentally balancing on one outside leg than the other, and the key to that balance is flexion. See how I can flex or close my ankle, knee, and hip? See how I can do it slowly and with intention by using activation and controlled contraction of my quads, glutes, tibialis, and a little bit of core like hamstring. That's our goal in skiing. We want to always be in motion. Think about flexing down over the outside ski in every turn, and that flexion movement does not stop until it is time to start the next turn. That's it. Go out there, work on your flexion, watch your skiing take off.